The StubHub Post-Match Breakdown.
The sun is setting here in Hamburg. Is the sun about to set on Liquid's chances of reaching the semi-finals, at least at the first attempt, because they find themselves a game down here in the upper bracket of Group B. Virtus.pro taking game number 1 to buck the trend of the last 3 series that these two teams have met in, where Liquid have come out on top in all 3. Can they confirm that in game 2? We'll find out in a little bit. We're going to recap in game 1. Blitz and Kappa back with me at the desk, and we'll break it down. Will, great performance from Virtus.pro game 1.
Yes, they absolutely steamrolled Liquid. Like, that game was not very close. All the team fights were won by them, the laning phase on, it was pretty one-sided.
Do you attribute that to just straight up great play, a bit of the draft, bit of the picks, bit of mind games? What is it?
I think it's a combination of things. So when we talked about the game beforehand, we said that the laning phase was going to go very well for Virtus.pro. And something you have to understand about Ancient Apparition, this hero is so bad at laning. He provides nothing for you. He makes your feet a little bit cold. That's about it. He amplifies other heroes. And the problem with these like Wisp pairings that me and Synderen had talked about after the game was you have to have a hero that creates space or has a stun or does something on the map. When you have Ancient Apparition plus Wisp, it's not just your laning phase that's going to suffer. It's later on in the game you have heroes that can't make plays, and VP capitalized on that so well.
So many TP saves that there were no stuns to be able to stop it. I mean, if you looked at like Starladder and PGL, we were talking about the emphasis on 4 positions and how some teams were going for multiple 4 positions. You would have 2 different 4 positions on the same team. You would have Earth Spirit and Enchantress, and you both play this kind of 4.5 style. And here, Liquid did the exact opposite. They drafted 2 hard 5s. So in retrospect, that Ancient Apparition was really one of the biggest downfalls to their lineup. VP also played this really well, though. They did a really good job setting up traps for Liquid split pushing.
Yeah, and they also seem to be gunning for GH in this game as well. He died 12 times in this game.
I mean, Bane was such a good support pickup for this,
Yeah.
specifically against, like, they pick it up and it's just a nice support duo anyway with the Enchantress, but if they do end up picking Wisp into it, Bane is really strong against him.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have much answer for that. Does that sort of back up what the smack talk suggested it might before the game?
I mean, it's one game, but it looks good so far. If you're going to say something like a guy who
Back
won
it
TI,
up, right?
and you could largely call him the MVP,
Yeah.
and you're able to back it up, and you make him look bad, you're absolutely dominant on that Enchantress, and you make this guy die 12 times, like, that's a good start for your team's confidence.
Yeah.
Because it works both ways. It doesn't just put pressure on your
Yeah,
team, it
yeah.
puts pressure on Liquid.
For sure. Yeah.
I think Liquid were a little bit sloppy at times. There was definitely one engagement. Remember the first time that they went for the mid lane of Rax, they got that because of a pickoff on the Tiny. And one of the things is that we could see that setup. What happened was that Liquid was getting complacent in their movements. They were moving, they were doing the typical, okay, they showed up here and killed one of our supports or something. We go with the Tiny Wisp, the opposite side of the map, etc. And what VP did is they started setting traps with the Bane would go to one side lane and look for the setup where he would Nightmare one and Fiend Script the other so his team could get there in time. And then the other side, you would have a Doom who was infested by a Lifestealer. And the first time they got a big pickoff and managed to take an objective was when they killed the Tiny when he jumped ahead of his Wisp. They actually had GH following him in the jungle, and they went ahead and jumped forward just to farm a creep wave, instantly got picked off by a Blink Doom into the ultimate with the Infest, and GH was not close enough to be able to save him, and that led into no buyback with the melee racks down. I think Liquid also played a little bit, surprisingly a little bit sloppy here.
Yeah. Well, first game of the day. Maybe they're a bit slow out the blocks. Don't you be slow out the blocks, by the way, because the MVP vote is up. As we've said to you before, you can vote. We want you to take part in it. If you feel like voting today and you've seen something fantastic from one of the players in the last 4 games, please do go and vote for them. You can always change your mind tomorrow and on Sunday where you get extra votes to be able to go and do that. You can only vote once a day, though, so make sure you get your vote in today for the player that you think should win the MVP by Mercedes-Benz, which means they get a Mercedes-Benz car as well. So very important. Will, Liquid obviously disappoint in that first game, but we know they can come back. They've done it before, and they've done it against this team, so they're not going to be worried.
I don't think so, but we had talked about it before the series. If any team was going to dethrone them or take series or games off them, it was going to be VP. And I think when you're a winner and everyone tells you you're the best team in the world, including us, all the pundits, they say you guys are the best, you keep winning, you win Starladder right after, no signs of stopping, you steamroll SG. Well, at some point, I think you just anticipate like getting these free wins. You're just like, oh, we deserve to win, but nothing comes free in Dota 2, especially not against a team like VP. They're so hungry to win. You don't say what you say about GH and expect to lose. You just don't. You can't say This guy did nothing special at TI. He won his first TI. He's a Royal Roaders, so as far as I'm concerned. And if you're going to put that kind of pressure on, you better back it up. And they did, but it's only one game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. Do you feel like maybe they were clever with that draft, and that the way that they played their draft against Liquid, and maybe played into some of the things that they thought Liquid would want to do, give them the Wisp,
the
test
Virtus.pro, like the picking up the Bane, we
Yeah.
talked about. They left the Wisp out there. They went ahead and picked up the Bane. They also left the Venomancer out there. I don't know, Will, how you felt that VP countered it very well, because I actually thought it was like really the only saving grace of Liquid's lineup. It was one of the few heroes that could actually stall for Tiny Wisp to be able to split push out the game, but they still managed to deal with it really well. I mean, no one was a beast on Queen of Pain as well.
Yeah.
That was very impressive play from him. So I think all around Virtus.pro, just a combination of really strong drafting from them, being able to get themselves a lineup that they felt very comfortable with, and holy cow.
We're
this
well
is different.
into Game 2. Draft is well underway. It's caught us out a little bit here as well, but we are into it, as you can see on your screen. 4 picks and a second pick for...
Are Liquid just trying to get the most cancerous heroes
Is this
they
going to be?
can for this match?
This has to be Liquid, right?
Yeah.
Who've picked this Brood?
Veno, yeah, for sure.
So Veno Brood opener for Team Liquid, and Virtus.pro have stuck with what works.
So the thing about, if you give them these heroes and you can show that you can consistently beat them, it's such a huge drafter's edge. That's what PPD used to do in the past, is give them these heroes.
Yeah.
If we can figure out a way to beat them without having to just continuously ban them, then you're going to gain quite an advantage. Just from a confidence perspective, it makes it easier to draft.
For sure.
You know that you can beat these heroes. It helps empower your team.
I mean, yesterday we were talking in the realms of they might have 6 or 7 feared heroes, and how do you ban against that?
You can't, so knock them out.
Right, so actually go the other way around. Give them the top 2 heroes they think they're the best with the IO, and then see how you can beat them.
Yeah.
And then when you can, that really does throw a spanner in the works, as you said.
So last time around, we saw that the Venomancer was still first picture, but the change-up here is the Broodmother. So I don't know, Will, what you think, like Liquid are re-examining that game in the draft and how they think Broodmother is going to be able to do better. But I at least like the fact that Broodmother is going to be able to not have to worry about the supports really at all. You don't have any wave clear coming out from there. And that was something that VP was kind of lacking in their Game 1 lineup. So maybe Liquid's just going to double down on that split pushing.
You just see Liquid still smiling.
But we saw Fnatic all smiling yesterday.
Yeah,
they were real happy about that.
That doesn't always work. Smiling.
We've got the Anti-Mage versus Bloodseeker, boys.
Smiling does not equal having a good time.
No.
The way they looked, I was like, man, they know something that I
Yeah,
do not. Like,
yeah. Well, why would you? When
they're
you've
about
just
to crush this
picked
game.
The best counter,
Okay.
or the worst.
My
hero
theory
to
was they were laughing at how absurd it was to pick
Maybe.
Anti-Mage versus
Yeah,
Bloodseeker.
maybe.
And they were still doing it.
An LC for Virtus.pro and an Spirit for Liquid.
Well, they want to match the Legion against the Broodmother.
Yep.
When it comes to laning phase, it has a good AoE nuke, also really good lockdown versus the Broodmother. And now we've got a do something hero from Liquid. In
I like how you
almost called it something else.
we have a word for it in the
Family
pro
show.
scene, and we can't.
Yes, it's not TV appropriate.
A do something hero. You need at least one of those.
You need to
in
do
this meta.
things.
Well, we keep talking about this in the draft, and I hate having to continuously bring it up, but we said that there were 3 focuses in a draft just to make it really easy. You need the ability to win at least one lane, you need the ability to shove out the lanes or push waves in, and you need some way to start a fight or have something that like just generally has a stun or something for a setup. And that's what this Earth Spirit represents. And in that last game, well, it was the Bat Rider, but Bat needed a lot of farm for that to work. And he has a really rough laning phase against the Lifestealer.
Do you feel like because I feel like one of the mistakes I looked at from Game 1 was that I focused too much on high ground potential. Do you feel like that's not as big of a factor? It's not one of the key factors of lineups, because it used to be.
It used to be, but at the same time, like if you overrun them so hard and you can get these Roshans, like these uncontested Roshans, then it's not as large of an issue, because you have this Lifestealer who he has his own built-in BKB. He just gets to hit it, and if Liquid can't just like jump him and kill him twice, then it's okay to go high ground like that.
So because our meta is leading a lot more towards team fighting, and there's so many fights going on, that really high ground potential means less. Team fighting just means everything.
Where we went
kill things.
Where we went wrong last game was, So we gave Liquid a bit too much credit for being Liquid.
Sure.
More than anything. Because if you evaluate the draft, Virtus.pro had very good lanes. That Enchantress pretty much had a free time, same as the Bane. And all three of their cores felt pretty self-sufficient. And so when you have lanes like that, you're going to be able to do things like that early Roshan because their lineup enabled for that as well. And they also played their lineup very well.
Now they've got a Weaver.
Yes,
for
I feel like
Virtus.pro.
this is an animal insect-based game now.
Brood versus Weaver.
Yeah, but one has like, I guess they both kind of like throw out children.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
They throw out their spawn
yeah.
as weapons.
It's like Weaver has... yeah, he has that thing.
Yes, he does have that thing. Ugh.
So you're going to need better lockdown than just Earth Spirit against the Weaver. It's pretty problematic hero. What about like something like a Disruptor or something?
Disruptor's okay, but I don't know how good it is against these other heroes.
Yeah.
They need a hero to deal with the Ench too. And I don't know what hero, like what 5 position, like Witch Doctor or something. But Witch Doctor also has his own issues. Because he doesn't have a reliable stun.
Wyvern.
So they take Wyvern. They needed a hero to clear as well. It's nice. It's a great save against the Enchantress and the Legion duel.
Yeah, you feel terrible playing Legion against Wyvern because it just leaves you open to losing your duel most of the time.
Legion and Axe, like both those heroes that rely on that physical jump, just get Winner's Cursed up, blocked, feel perfectly fine.
It's a potential way to be able to open up on the Wyvern early on as well. So you can lead in the Winter's Curse. Earth Spirit has an easier time to set up his silent stun combination. So I do kind of like that. Obviously, later on to the game, we'll be anticipating a Lincoln Scepter for the Weaver. That'll make things more difficult. So we still, I think you still need more lockdown if you're Team Liquid.
So VP thought this might be an off-lane Veno, so they banned the MK for the one-on-one matchup against the Legion. And the good news is that they get one last core pick that kind of completes their draft. And I think Liquid right now, it's most likely Miracle's hero, but they're going to have to pick it before. They're going to have to show their hand a little bit earlier.
What's missing from VP? I feel like it's just wave clear, right? We just got Legion Commander.
Probably some shove. Maybe another, like a core with some kind of like catch.
Do you think something like a Terror Blade here?
For VP, it's not bad.
For Liquid?
For Liquid? It's okay. Legion's pretty good against TB, I thought.
Yeah.
Ooh, the PA for Liquid. When was the last time we've seen a Liquid PA?
Not in Miracle's wheelhouse right now. But
oh, they immediately...
Has played it once.
Oh, the Alchemist against a Broodmother too.
All right, boys. Hope you got your sleeping bags ready.
Give some late shove at least, and
Wait,
it does
what?
give them. It does give them a stun. Sleeping bags.
Yeah, this could be a long one.
But it won't be. It'll be an exciting long one if it
Yes.
is, because there is still going to be a lot of action.
Yeah.
Liquid are going to be trying to push the tempo of this game with their last big PA, which I did not expect whatsoever.
Okay, last-minute instructions barked out to the Virtus.pro players, and last-minute instructions from our panel members as well. Cap, what do you like? What do you make of this draft as well?
I don't know. It's pretty
nuts, isn't it?
It threw me for a bit of a loop.
I mean,
I'll be honest with you,
second
Paul.
pick, Brood, just what? All right.
Yeah, they've got the Brood really well countered between
Yeah.
both the Legion Commander as well as the Alchemist. The PA pick looks pretty good, even with the Alchemist picked up after it. Like, PA is really good at being able to give that straightforward damage. I think I'm going to lean towards Virtus.pro, though, still, just because they may not have quite enough fighting potential for me to really like it, but VP looked pretty good in game number 1. I think they can find a way to make this work.
All right. Very quickly, Will.
I think VP.
Okay. VP from both?
Yeah.
Interesting. VP from both. An agreement between Cap and Blitz. Who would have thought? Let's head back to your commentary team for game number 2 and see whether Virtus.pro can wrap things up for a place in the semi-finals.
Thank you very much, Paul, and indeed, I'm OD Pixel, joined once again by the fabulous Cinderin as we get ourselves stuck in. Fabulous. Game 2, Virtus.pro, Team Liquid. We've heard the panel's thoughts. A lot of things to talk about this game, Singe. This early phase Broodmother pick, but then VP's, I gotta say, pretty nice reaction to it. Alk and Legion, that's a Broodmother's nightmare in terms of spider babies dying.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch this game because this was something I was thinking about myself, if it's like technically possible. We know that Broodmother is a great pick on the 16, like the last pick of the second phase, but what if it's the last pick of the first phase and you ban heroes that are good against Brood then already? If you're planning to play it mid and we see the impact that Brood has generally, is it too early or can it work? So I'm curious to see how this game goes for Liquid. I feel like it might have been too early now that I see the full drafts. Like when they picked
the heroes against it.
The Legion pick from VP is really clever because it's a hero that no one is known to play mid as well. So we're actually going to see Pasha getting rolled on here.
It's not looking that clever at the moment, Sin.
He is looking pretty dead.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Liquid with that smoke, getting themselves the first bird in no one else's hands other than the beautiful PA. Miracle. Grabs the gold, grabs the bounty.
But to finish off my trail, I thought the Legion Commander is a great pick because it's also played by no one in mid. So Liquid might have expected that that was a mid pick against Brood, and then they didn't think about the Alk, or they weren't scared of the Alk. One of those two. And this results in the following laning, where Alchemist is mid against Brood. This is a pretty standard matchup this patch. A lot of teams have done this before. They will have the safe lane Legion Commander and dodging with Weaver, so Weaver's bottom. And Bane is looking for the Courier Snipe once again. This time the Courier isn't in use, though. It's pretty much wasting his time. And finally, Enchantress is in the jungle. And this time it's Lil on Enchantress.
It is,
so they swapped it up.
Switching up the players. For the Edge, Pasha did have a great game last game on it. We'll see if Lil can keep up to similar standards. And knowing himself and the way he's played it in the past, we can certainly expect quite a showing from him on the Edge this game. And of course, that last pick as well, that's something to talk about as well from Liquid. Miracle on the PA.
Yeah.
Now, I can't help but feel this is definitely a hero that Miracle's like, I want to play this. Or is there some reason why this hero actually works here? Because there's so many cases where PA, it just doesn't work out in games.
There's a couple of primary benefits. The hero is really good at killing Enchantress because of the 130 attack speed you get from Phantom Strike. It offsets Untouchable. It's a hero that can... At the point it was picked, Alchemist was not picked. So they saw the other 4 heroes. It's a hero that can kill Weaver in the Silence of Earth Spirit and in the stun. They want some sort of single target burst so that they can get this Weaver under control and bring it down. Because currently the rest of their heroes are not that like burst heavy in terms of damage output. A bit more sustained. Both the Brood and the Venomancer, of course, are like that. All bottom lane.
Now going into mind control here, the 3 of them diving through. Kuro.
He's dead.
He's going to TP him, but he's only level 1 on the Wyvern. Not a lot he can do. The turnaround's there for Liquid. They do claim the life of the Enchantress, but they will lose the Veno in trade. Solo Ramsey's actually still going for it. Kuro does hit level 2, but he's out of mana, out of luck. Lil claims the double kill from the grave as he was still down. They're also able to sort of force GH back. GH has to be careful. Ramsey's still confident to play around this lane with Solo. VP amping up the pressure down bottom and causing Liquid to play around them. Solo, does he want to go for the bounty? He won't. He'll let it be. Doesn't want to get too greedy. But yeah, very aggressive on that bottom lane. And in the long, overall, it does sort of pay off. They kill that Veno.
The one thing, oh, wait a second, GH, can he get a roll off? Yeah, he can. So the one thing that is similar between this game and the previous one is that once again, Liquid have pretty bad heroes against Enchantress in lane. They have bad supports.
Yeah.
Winter Wyvern and Earth Spirit are not very good at dealing with Enchantress. They don't have any control for the creeps. They don't have a good way of killing Ench. So they have to compensate with Chorus, which is probably part of the reason they picked this PA. It's just, they need to be careful not to just lose complete grip on these lanes. This bottom tower has the potential of falling very early to this Enchantress rotation with the Weaver. Venomancer is not having a good time at all. Currently 6 CS to the 19 of Weaver. And he can spam all the plagues he wants, but they don't seem to care very much.
Yeah, definitely the lane that Liquid are going to have to sack a bit in the grand scheme of things. Mid lane, CS, looking pretty hot for both of them. 25 on No 1, 22 for Matumba. Matumba man, a little low here. Take a couple of punches. Have to be a little careful. Will back up, but it's just sort of trying to bait No 1 into a position that will allow GH and Kuroki to have a bit of a crack onto it.
Oh, that's some spider deaths. Got 3 CS. That's that was about 100 extra gold.
It is a lot. One of the reasons why we see a lot of teams ban out that Alchemist.
Pasha! That is an unexpected kill for me. I was not thinking.
Pre-level 6 as well.
Yes.
Doesn't need no crits, doesn't need no RNG, all skill there for Miracle.
Yep. That was very nice. So, part of the reason Alchemist is good against Brood mid is obviously the temptation of being able to kill all the spiderlings and get a lot of gold, but they also lose their phasing movement when they take damage. So you put an acid spray on top of yourself when you get ganked, and all the spiders lose that mobility that they usually have and can't really surround, you can't really mess with you nearly as much. Then, obviously, that secondary benefit of farming them all is pretty nice. Oh, mind control, no TP.
He's having such a nasty time down here. Ramsey's just putting on the pressure.
He's fine. No inch.
I mean, he's fine in terms that he's not dying, but in terms of what he's getting out the lane, it's a bit of a different story.
Well, GH finds some friends. Oh, I thought they were Enchantress groups. They weren't.
Top lane.
He's going to die again.
Miracle will find Pasha, but again, it's these sort of trades going on. Off lane for off laner. Mind control actually duking it out there, hiding in the trees. They are going to have to hunt for him a little bit. He's making them chase for it, but they'll still get the job done as they claim mind control's life. So both offlaners sort of just tanking the ganks at the moment as each team makes rotations to enable their position ones.
And this is going to be a really fat Alk this game, I think. It's got to be something for Liquid to be concerned about. Yeah. That might be why they're focusing so much in Miracle's lane, is that that's their winning condition. They know their Brood is going to get farm. It's a mid Brood that's playing against a hero that sure can farm against Brood, but can't really stop Brood from farming either, so they're just trading. But then the PA has to be the secondary hero that can deal with Alchemist later on.
Liquid have to send the TP down bottom this time. Mind control getting very low again. Nearly down for another time on this lane. Ramsey's having pretty free reign of it. Good CS as well for the Weaver. 13, 39, 9. Kuro now looking to soak up some levels in this mid lane, as indeed, as you say, Matuma Man utilizing those camps, those ancients, where he can, and making sure to minimize the gold
armlet. Not bad.
I mean, it seems
6 minutes 4 seconds. That's got to be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a record, but that's like
it's
95th
it's
percentile.
I mean, it
that
really has.
Really fast.
I mean, do we know how many spiders we killed? We got that sound. Can we see how many spiders he got?
That's true, yeah.
Check it out, Sin. See how much money you got from the spiders, because it felt like quite a bit. He'd certainly got a few of them in this lane.
Yeah, let's see if I know how to do this properly.
Come on, Sin.
He killed 9 spiders for 172 gold. So
but then you factor in the Grieval's Greed.
There you go.
And then that's obviously a lot more, isn't it? Do the maths, Sin.
By the enemy team, why isn't it showing Alchemist? Oh, it does.
What?
There. I just can't read it. The information's there. There's a little Alchemist face. You see it?
Yeah, underneath, yeah. But so it's 172, but then you add Grieval's Greed. That's a decent amount of money. 9 spiders. Or is that including Grieval's?
That is probably
no,
not.
it's not. Yeah, it's not including. No, that's not.
Their base value.
Yeah, that's the base value. So
yeah, that's true. So probably like a 350 extra or something like that.
Yeah. So that's some gold.
Yeah, that's pretty much. So currently a 1k gold lead, minute 7. It's pretty standard when you have an Alchemist farming well. So the main point of attention for both teams is still what do we do about PA. I think Virtus.pro will be. This Alchemist will be very difficult to kill when he gets his first armor item, but his build-up is more than likely Armlet into Radiance into either Shiva's first or the Manta.
Oh, Kuroki!
He is fine. Just barely.
Just. Mind control. May not be. I'll see how deep they can go for this.
Good movement. But you're still feeling it, right? You're feeling how Liquid are struggling in this bottom lane. They're being dove between their towers minute 7. The support, Wyvern just cannot deal with Enchantress at all.
But it is, as you say, it's all about this top lane. That's where Liquid want to make sure that
happens. The game.
Yeah.
If you asked me before the game if I thought this was going to be the first tower to fall, I would have said no. Definitely the Enchantress would be taking the first tower in this game, but consistent pressure top.
I mean, we're talking about good item timings. This is an 8-minute Desolator on your Brood.
Yep. Oh, and
that's a successful duel.
Oh, JJ missed a kill.
All right, that's it. I'm making a Reddit thread.
Yep,
this is absolutely appalling.
I'm done. You can solo cast now. Yeah. Bounty run. All right, I'm back.
That was a short retirement.
Yeah.
As usual.
I was hoping to at least, get a little bit of a chuckle from JJ in my ears, but no. He's very serious about missing his kills. He's feeling guilty right now. Please tweet at him and make him feel better about himself. There you go.
Top net worth.
Top record.
In 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Yep. No surprise there. Yep. It's really. I mean, it's crazy. We're pre 9 minutes and we're seeing heroes reaching 100.
It's like they can see the stat. That just happened.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. He has crazy farm on this Alchemist, and we're talking about it a lot, but I have this saying, like, when Alchemist is in the game, he is the centerpiece of the game. for both teams. That's just how the hero works. He is the hero to look out for. Oh, GH failing a little bit there.
Very off the mark, yeah. Pasha
but
easily walks that off.
Don't think that's a kill regardless.
No, this is a level 7 Legion, and Pasha has been doing pretty well for himself. Definitely one of the differences looking between those two off lanes. Level 8 on Pasha, level 6 on Mind Control. Definitely seeing sort of the effects that VP were able to pull off on this bottom lane, separating those two position 3s. And yeah, Pasha now getting free roam of this middle lane. Soul Ring out as well, so he'll be able to keep the nukes high, make sure he can consistently put the pressure on the Spiderites. There we have. Oh, I mean that's.
Thanks.
Now that pays off the Soul Ring now.
That just that's. Thanks, Matumba.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've got to be careful on this, but every little bit like that, it adds up. It creates such a difference.
It does.
But it's, you know, it's not that he's it's just so hard for him to play as well. I mean, they sort of open themselves up to this, as we say. They pick the Brood early. This sort of stuff's going to happen. But VP are loving it.
But it's still worth keeping in mind that this first phase Brood has 110 CS minute 10. So
sure. I mean, he's still playing. He's playing absolutely fabulous. The farm is
getting
insane.
great farm regardless. Yeah. But the core matchups later are way less Brood favored than they could be, and this Alchemist last pick so far is starting to really, really pull ahead. And the Veno, it's very rare that we see a Veno this much in the dumpster. It's like he's actually scraping the bottom of it. Roll in from GH.
Speedy Pasha.
Doesn't connect.
The Miracle, it is
on solo with a DD.
It could be a game that turns into the Miracle show. He's been absolutely set up for it. He's 4-0-0. He's going for the fade. I mean, does he actually finish off the Vladimirs here? He's got the rest of it queued up. I don't know if he maybe just did that because he wanted to buy the lifesteal. I mean, do you actually finish the Vlads now on PA, surely? Does he like to do that on Miracle?
Armor Aura is really good this game.
Okay.
That's a lot of physical damage on the Dire side.
Yeah.
3, actually kind of 4 heroes steal. 3. Let's not count it.
He's just going for Lil. Oh, this is some slow-mo anime shit. Oh, when he does it.
Dagger doesn't care. Dagger no care.
You don't need attack speed to throw a dagger at someone. And he gets a tower as well. I mean, this is Miracle's just bam, bam, bam. Objective to kill. He's getting it all. Does finish off the Vlads.
And this is a 1k lead with a 10k gold Alchemist minute 11.
So what does that tell you?
So that tells me that the rest of Liquid is doing extremely well, and its Alchemist has all the weight on his shoulders right now for VP. Weaver can definitely start catching up to this PA. Weaver still has a tower to claim in the bottom lane, arguably has faster wave clear, higher mobility than PA for farming, and since Miracle is not going for a farming build like Battle Fury, I do think Weaver can
Battle
catch up
Fury
relatively.
PA.
That's an old build. Here's the Vlads. That or, you know, like Maelstrom or something, but this is one of the big benefits of mid-Brood.
Yeah, Liquid do this every game with the Brood as soon as they can.
Big
Very early,
stone
10
man
to 12 minutes in, they go to the pit.
Is die. Oh, she's going to be a roll from GH. Nice dodge from Soul. Oh, GH, that's a really bad position.
He just still managed to get the smash out from the low ground, and Miracle's going to close the gap, pick up another kill. GH will be protected by Miracle getting that elimination up top. The show continues. Miracle's got a haste rune. I mean, he's not done. He's trying to make the most out of this, seeing if he can catch anyone else out. We'll get the vision onto Pasha. Pasha's already out of there, and Pasha just a little too beefy to be dove upon underneath the towers by this PA.
I'm very interested to see what no one buys after this travels. It's like, I think the choices fall between Manta and Shiva, but they have really big, there's really big differences.
Oh, where's the crits? Oh, the duel comes out. Cold Embrace will be there, buying time for Miracle. Nightmare to make sure they don't get the reverse dual kill, but they'll still get the kill nonetheless. Miracle jumps in, takes down Solo as well, and he may not be done. He's looking towards Lil, jumps forward, looking for the crit. Boulder Smash is there. Where's the crit? He doesn't even need it. The Magnetize ticks him down, and they get themselves another. And is he done now? I think he's done now, Miracle. He'll slow down no one with the dagger. Does have to run away. Ramses is there, ready to chase. Can Miracle get himself out of this? He's put the TP back into his inventory. Is now ready to go, but he's not quite got the mana. Looks like the Dukes will be successful. Heads towards the north. Mind Control comes in from the bottom, draws away the attention, and Mind Control should pay with his life here. The range is there for the concoction to connect. Cold Embrace for Kuro buys him some time, but Pasha's there. No one in solo as well. They'll finish off the Venomancer. But Miracle will survive. Does get out. Overall, I think, as you say, definitely the fact that it is just a 1K with the ALK lineup shows good things for Liquid. Matuma Man, of course, Masker Man is Deso. 1,700 gold on top of it. He's still in a fantastic position on on the Broodmother.
I like Liquid. I like Liquid's determination in that play.
Yeah.
Like they very quickly went in mid. They realized Alchemist wasn't there with Acid Spray to defend, and they just start diving heroes. But
Yeah.
they get punished on the way out of there. And I want to point out how low level these supports are. This is minute 14. Kuro is level 5. Solo just got 6.
They're
Earth
trying to
Spirit
fight.
just got 6.
They do lose Kuro, but Matsuma Man, I mean, he's going
has
for it. But
Aegis.
oh! The dagger from Miracle, but he
just
gets the kill as well. He's got a double Miracle.
Whoops.
Oh, they've got to run. This PA, he's getting some fantastic crits there. And that last fight as well did secure the dual win for Matumba, so he's sitting on the +10. Miracle's not done. He's just heading up. They had the concoction. I mean, Miracle getting a little too greedy here. The Acid Spray's sticking it out. You got to get out. He's got the jump. He can get over the tree line back to safety. Good blink.
Yeah.
Will survive.
That's called the good friend Earth Spirit right there, saving him from a completely reckless dive. Who has to pay with his life. And I think Mind Control's going to die, though.
Mind Control, he's had a few deaths this game. This could be another. Pasha's there on the high ground, eyeing them both up, then nuke them down low, give the buff to no one to speed him up for the chase down onto Mind Control. Mind Control. Oh, Cold Embrace. It's going to be enough. No, it's not. Damage too much coming out for the rest of the side of VP. And they're going to get Matumba
really
as well.
screwed his team up there. That is a big mistake.
That's a report.
That is such a big mistake. It's a bit reminiscent of the out-of-position plays he had with Tiny in Game 1. Like, just over-aggressive, running up that high ground without vision, getting caught out like that.
Miracle.
That hurts, because sure, he survives, but they lose Aegis.
I mean, that's
they lose
what
2
matters.
other cores.
That's what he survives in.
Yeah, okay.
He's fine. You know, he's up, team, what are you doing? Why are you feeding?
Yeah.
I've got 0 deaths.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, surely that would be the line of argumentation in a pub. Why are you guys even there? You know? Let's disregard the fact that I blink striked on one of you to stay alive. They actually lost 3 heroes, I forgot. The GH also went in and died. Well, Ramses will probably claim this kill against Kuro.
I mean, this is, I really like what Ramses is doing here as well, you know, with his build. Just straight up, no boots, no nothing, diffusal play, and as soon as he gets it, already down to 2 charges. That just goes to show how active he's being with it. Immediately as he gets it online, it's just such a huge... I mean, on any hero, when you get the diffusal blade at a good timing, it's a good power spike. But of course, on Weaver, with the Geminate, it's an incredible spike of power. And he can just do so much against these weaker heroes of Liquid. You know, we know that the Spider and the PA is in a good position, but the other 3 heroes suffered in the laning stage, and this Weaver's ready to punish them.
Question is when he's going to need to buy the diffusal too. He might have to buy it a little bit earlier than he wants, and there's the Manta build-up for Elk, so he will go Manta first, and then
I think that's definitely the way to play.
might get Shiva before Octarine if he feels the necessity to get that armor, but it's not a requirement. And now finally, Kuro got his 6. He's going to die again, though. So this game, I have a feeling that in this tournament, there was the lowest overall support levels at minute 10. I think not a single support was level 6. Even with the tomes. Like, Ench was level 5, Solo was level 5 on the Bane, there's a level 4 Wyvern, I think, and a 5 Earth Spirit at that time. All supports are just super low level for making these rotations and carry play. Yep, that's a dead someone.
They've got the sentry down. They've got eyes onto Mind Control. He is going to go down yet again. Gone for 30 seconds. VP, can they chase for more? GH looks like he'll be fine. Matsuma Man just keeping himself hidden out of range of that sentry dropped down by VP.
And the reason I'm talking a lot about these support levels is that it's really important for the outcome of this game. It's the reason that VPs, especially Alchemist, feels almost immortal. Is that the potential damage from the 2 supports on Liquid being unable to hit level 6 just lowers their damage output by so much. Like the Wyvern without Curse, the Earth Spirit without Magnetize until very late into the game has made no one's game so smooth. And the only thing it cost VP was that they were trading a little bit of experience away on their Enchantress and a little bit on their Bane. But I feel like those heroes have come back way nicer, especially Bane in this game. It feels like it's had a much higher impact than the Wyvern so far in its ability to set up these kills and protect Alchemist most importantly. So I feel like for Liquid now, it's hard to make very successful moves until you get the next Aegis, and they have to make that one count. But I don't think VP are going to let them get it for free again. It's going to be contesting this time.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Bottom
under
lane is
attack.
going to be totally ignored here by Liquid. They know that once that out push comes in, they don't want to be a part of it. They'll just look for the trades, and mid lane is where they'll look to go. All 5 of them ready to kick things off. Ramses, they know he's around. Still very slippery for the lineup of Liquid really to lock down. They need GH to find that opening onto him. He does get the dust, silence as well. Miracle's got to get the damage out before the silence wears off, and it's there. The crit comes through. Not a moment too soon as well. Just in time to finish off the kill. They'll take down Ramses. VP still have no one putting a bit of pressure onto the high ground actually on that bottom lane, but Liquid will ignore it for now. Claim the tier 2 tower as well. And Liquid, they are getting these objectives. They're playing around this out, but it certainly does. It feels like they're playing on this timer. No one is in a, as you say, beautiful place. It's only going to get better for the Alchemist as the game goes on. Liquid need to keep this pressure up.
We'll get Octarine before the Shiva/AC. So going the completely default route. I was just curious if he was going to differ from that route because of the 2 physical damage dealers, but still feels confident that he can stay alive. They obviously have that medallion to protect him with, defensive nightmare, press the attack, plenty of tools for no one to stay alive. Matoma has a great position here, Solo.
Time to go for the squish. He jumps onto Solo. Stepping a step too far.
Yeah, they can't get in here right now. This is Liquid playing good zone control. And the way for VP to get out of this deadlock is that Alchemist needs to have ulti, and they need to smoke, and they run Alchemist in front. And then if they are in right position with other heroes, the Winter's Curse is not going to mess him up, and then they can always just press the attack him out of whatever comes his way. And then Manta. Let's see if that's what they're going to do. Liquid are smoked themselves, looking in the Radiant, or in the Dire jungle, excuse me. Don't seem to be finding anything, though. Oh, Alchemist is showing top.
Gotcha.
Picking him out. This.
I mean, he's big, but I don't know if he's big enough to survive the sort of attempt from 5 heroes.
Absolutely not.
He's got to get out of there.
He has a good read on this.
He really does. And with the Manta, he can push out these lanes so safely.
And it's a soul booster. Confident purchase. He does not have buyback right now.
And this is... I mean, this has got to be...
I believe.
This is very good timing on the Alchemist. 20k net worth, 20 minutes in. Sure, I mean, out... You know, a good game, we expect to see him at the top, but this is really shooting for the stars on this Alchemist this game.
He's about 1,000 GPM, minute 20.
Yeah, that's...
So that is extremely high.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's actually necessary. That's how well Liquid have played with their Brood and PA. And this is the breaking point, I think. If Liquid manage to get racks with this Aegis and Cheese or get a really big team fight and force buybacks, they're in a great position. If they don't get to use this Aegis, I think Alk is going to reach a really dangerous point. Next, courier snipe here by Lil. Actually not sure how he knew that was coming. We don't have any vision there.
He was wandering around that area, maybe looking for great mate, but I guess maybe just sort of passed by.
He may have seen it earlier somewhere. I didn't notice. He saw it with a creep. All right. Makes sense.
With the BKB.
Yep. It's tricky, right? Because you're like, BKB has value, but at the same time, it's also a bad item in this game. You're playing BKB into Fiend Script, you're playing BKB into Duel, you're playing BKB into Impetus, into Swarm. It's like, it counters so little, but at least it counters...
I mean, that's true. Is it actually necessary?
It counters some spell damage, and it counters Radiance. So it's either that or MKB. Like, he wants to make sure he can hit his attacks.
Okay.
And it also counters Untouchable, so that's a side benefit. I don't know, though.
Would you rather... Yeah, it definitely seems to be... It's sort of on the edge,
I just think it's hard. I think it's hard to itemize this game.
Okay. I mean, it was a first phase Brood. You expect to have that sort of dynamic. You are going to have to think a lot harder. It's not sort of the brainless 5th pick easy GG hero that we see it might be most of the time. It's going to be a harder game.
Oh, that's a sentry. They know he's coming. And Alchemist did finish his Octarine. Nice attempt there from VP, pre-channeling Concoction, running Dusts.
Looking to jump. Matuma and GH trying to go. The Illusion's going to be the first to be jumped on. Concoction's there onto Miracle. Miracle on the front lines. Bursted out. He's gone. The PA's out of it. Solo gets the grip off in time. They'll take the Aegis out of the hands of Matuma. They're not done yet. Jules out from Pasha. Catches out GH. Liquid, they've lost 2. Maybe even more. Mind Control out of man as the Diffusal Blade whittles it down from Ramses. And Ramses already looking for the next target. Matuma down a second time in this fight. Aegis out of his hands, his heart ripped out as well. VP fine 4. Ramses, he wants to find the full team wipe here. He's got his eyes on Kuroki. He's low himself, but he doesn't matter. Taunts and flaunts himself in front of the face of the Wyvern. VP find the 5th kill, and Liquid get team wiped.
And this, again, a bit similar to the first game, they seem to lose their focus for a moment. They're not in a good position together. Kuro isn't there on the Wyvern. I don't know if they felt forced for Kuro to be on the bottom half of the map to either push out a wave or something. I didn't see exactly what he was doing, but he was really far away from his team. And Miracle just way overconfident, jumping into them. He got blown up. Like, he cannot play like that in this fight.
Not with this Diffusal Deso build. I mean, obviously, it's a fun build to play when you're the one getting the jump, but if you get jumped on one concoction, as we saw, and the PA's dead.
Yep. He needs BKB.
He does.
Badly. And, you know, he's still going to have the same problem that we just talked about with Brood. But you need to block the concoction, I guess.
Sure.
Like, it's just hard, right? Because you don't really want to buy this item, but it feels like you have to.
I mean, would you not even be more tempted to buy like a Lincoln Sphere over the BKB this game if you're PA?
You can buy a Lincoln's, then you can get Enfeeble Gripped, or I mean, it gives you that extra. Sure. It gives you that extra play. It's true, but now there's also a Halberd on Legion, so he can also break Lincoln.
Oh, that's the problem. Yeah. Oh, they're actually going to throw the dust out. GH does come into the midst of it all. They find the jump onto Solo. Solo actually gets the Nightmare, still goes down. But Matoma gets the kill. Curse indeed, causing Pasha to beat into Ramses, but Ramses has the BKB in the time lapse. He's fine, turns towards Kuro. Kuro's out. Pasha will be punished. And Matumba chases him down. No one as well being forced out to the side of the fight by Miracle. GH does find the silence onto this Weaver. Can Ramses get away? He's got another Shikuchi. Again, sort of the lack of lockdown really that Liquid have, meaning that Ramses gets a rather free escape. But VP do lose 3. That was the sort of jump that Liquid need to be making.
Very quick move, and Alchemist wasn't there. I think, right? He didn't. He was
sort of on the wrong side of it. And I think we saw.
I think he was top. He didn't travel top when the fight started, right? Like, there's no way he does that. Or?
I don't know. Well, they were sort of keeping him split out as well, because I think Miracle was sort of edging towards him as well, making it very hard for him to get anywhere close to being involved. So, yeah, I think just overall the position of no one meant that he couldn't do.
And a big difference in this fight compared to the last ones that the Fiend's Grip didn't come off.
Yes.
He just got blown up this time. Last time he got a clutch grip when he was at like 15% HP, but this time they had Wyvern as part of the move. Wyvern got the curse off, so he got like a long duration stun on the Weaver and the Legion combined, and that just allowed them to get this easy fight.
I mean, it's the strength for Liquid's lineup in that build. You know, having those 2 offensive items all.
with a good position here.
They do get the stun onto Mind Control. They have to be a little careful how they actually go for this here. Liquid do have the Shrine at the ready as well. Kuro, Cold Embrace is up. GH rolls forward, gets himself to the Shrine, keeping himself alive for a little bit, but he still goes down to the impetus. They've lost Solo in return. No one cooking up the concoction, and now Pasha will find the duel. Takes Kuro, moving forward now onto Miracle, who's trying to jump forward and fight. Gets shoved in as well. He's just trying to get out of there, but he can't. He has no defensive items. He looks to jump back in, but the concoction's out. Somehow he gets the crit. I believe it was the dagger thrown out just in time to take down Pasha.
Wait.
But he's gone.
Wait, guys, wait. Stop the dagger time. But that's still good enough for Virtus.pro.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, you get 4 heroes.
It's going to be a tier 2 at the very least.
50 seconds, no PA. I mean, Miracle does not have buyback, so VP.
And Curse was expended. Curse was used, and they know that. It's a very, very clearly, very obvious spell usage. So they will continue down here. Solo with the DD rune will probably get 2-shot here.
Yep.
3-shot.
4-shot. Oh,
hello, Matoma.
Oh, sick jukes.
Oh! That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. He's happy to die for that, though. He is. At the same time, it's like Matoma couldn't have defended anyway. Oh, but now they have a position on him. They have the Purge. BKB just comes off cooldown. He will be fine.
Oh, who's the Ags going to? I love this bit of the game. Who's he giving the Agnems to, Sin? Who gets it first? I think you give it to the Enchantress.
Let's go. Give it to Wyvern so he can keep using the Arctic Burn on all game. Let's go.
Wait, what are you on about? They're on the.
That's true. He's actually on the other team. That's a fair point. You should give it to Weaver.
Stop revealing the new patch notes. You know? You can now give Ags to opponents.
What new patch? What? There's a patch?
Imagine that. You give Ags to the enemy OD and you win the game. It's brilliant.
We'll take that.
Did he give it away yet?
He did. Who did he give it to? The Ench? No, he gave it to the Weaver.
That's exactly what I thought he should do. Okay. So I think Weaver Axe is one of the best Axe in the whole game, but it's just a bad item for the hero.
That's a big claim,
But the Axe itself is so ridiculous with Alchemist, because now Alchemist can frontline and he has 2 lives. The Weaver can just save him from high range. And the reason you don't see it on Weaver very much is that if Weaver is played as a position 1 or 2, you want to have scaling items, but on a position 3 Weaver, you actually see it as a core item a lot of the time.
You've got to remember as well, the cooldown is 16 seconds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You say he's got an extra life. He's got infinite lives.
It's extremely good, that item.
16-second cooldown. Woo!
Look at the positioning now of Ramses. It's very
Zero
clear what
mana.
the
It
might
doesn't
do.
cost you any mana.
They don't have a creep wave though. Oh, now he gets pushed in. But it's like, what do you do here as Radiant? Just what's your suggestion for this attack onto VP? Oh, there we go. They're gonna try
Let's see. They're gonna have a good, strong attempt to this. I mean, they're bringing him low. Bam! There's the time lapse. Second life comes in. Winter's Curse is there onto Ramses, but it doesn't matter. They do lose the 2 squishiers. As Miracle gets the jump on them, they do actually have to stun onto no one. He's falling low, and in fact, he's falling down. Liquid they're holding.
Okay, that's what you do apparently. I did not see that coming. I really didn't think that fight was going to go
Again, it's
They waited for Chemical Rage to end,
Yeah.
and I think the problem is that he doesn't respect that when Chemical Rage is over, he's not strong enough. But if they have Weaver Axe and the Chemical Rage running, Alk can't die, and they just need to still respect the common thing with Alk. When your Chemical Rage is running out, you back out, you wait for the cooldown, and you go again. And Liquid found the perfect moment of opportunity, so...
I mean, it's every time, you know, Solo, he has to be so careful. Miracle, he lands 1 crit and the Bane's gone, you know what I mean?
It's very hard.
Liquid do have the potential to immediately delete these backliners in the team fights. It's incredibly hard, and of course Solo is he's a poor lad. He's not got a lot of money. The Glimmer Cape's not going to be there. There's no sort of defensive way he can play around this dagger, you know, flying at him. He can obviously look to Nightmare himself, but a lot of times he's trying to Nightmare to save his teammates or set up for the side.
Dire are scanning.
But it is spooky, it is scary. They do have a 13k gold lead, but that does not mean the game is over for Liquid at all.
This is not over at all.
No,
That fight was really important.
Yes.
That Liquid got multiple core kills, including the Alk.
Yeah.
That's one of the tricky things about that hero is like just 1 or 2 deaths. The amount of net worth that you have it's such a high value kill for the Liquid heroes. And as a result of that kill, they almost have this MKB now on the Brood.
Yep.
Or actually has it if he wants to buy it. The Wyvern just got a medallion. 30 minutes in, he's had a rough game. That was PA's BKB reveal as well, that fight, right? They were not ready for that either.
Yeah, they weren't.
I don't think they knew he had it.
No,
so that obviously that changes the dynamic
came
of the fight a lot. Because the previous fights, VP have just concoction destroyed that PA. Oh, it's not an option this time. Okay, Rosh is up. This is a big moment. Liquid are not in the best position. Now they're going to see it now. They have...
Can they get that? They cannot get it quick enough.
All right, let's see the spiders deny Aegis.
Oh, GH. He's tried to come in from the side. He should
Nice
be
defensive
fine.
play.
Dire's top tower
He's okay.
is under
But now the problem comes. We saw Liquid hold a defense, but that was when VP didn't have an Aegis. Now they have it. Can they actually hold against this sort of pressure from VP?
They actually, think about this for a second. They have Weaver Ags, and they still put the Aegis on the Alchemist. They're respecting this a lot. He's their siege engine, right? So he's going to walk in, and he feels there's a lot of room for error here.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
He hasn't failed that yet. It's good manta dodges on his concoctions so far this game. He's been practicing his polygon training.
Oh,
Lil!
They're trying to delete Lil. They're not going to be able to do it straight away. Matuma Man will find the kill onto Pasha. Ripped through him there. Has the MKB, of course, now on the Broodmother, so a lot of right-click. Fiendscript's down to Miracle, but he had the BKB off in time. Jumps in a couple of crits to take down Solo. Now he's looking for no one. Has to back away. Those Lil's forcing him out with the impetus. With no BKB, Miracle doesn't really want to fight. Has to be very careful. Winter's Curse holds this Alchemist in place for some time. Now Matuma thinking about leading the charge back in. Looking for the crit. Miracle doesn't find it, but Matuma Man gets the mini-bash with the NKB. Takes down Pasha. GH with the boulder smash onto 2. Liquid looking to clean up on this defense here.
Oh, he got chemical range ready.
No, what? Can he finish off Miracle? Miracle's still alive for the time being. Forced away. Miracle will be fine for now. Thinking about going back in. Again, the Gale used to zone no one, keep him held back from the rest of Liquid. Matuma Man wants to go back in, but there's another concoction coming through. Miracle jumps and gets the bash onto Ramses. Ramses is gone. Concoction hits himself. Doesn't manage to man to dodge it this time, was still unavailable. The Aegis is gone. Liquid are ready to kill him a second time. He has Concoction, chucks it out. Miracle stunned up for some time, but again forced away. Will be fine, no one. Try for the TP out, but the MKB mini bash comes through. No one's gone, and Liquid, they are holding. And VP are throwing a lot away in these mid lane pushes.
I can't believe how fast that Legion died. It looked like he got 3-shot by... Was it only the Brood or was it also the PA? But they just immediately jumped in and took Pasha out of the fight very quickly.
I think it was mainly the Brood on that Pasha.
Yeah, he has the MKB, so he can't
MKB,
miss his attack. That is a problem Virtus.pro have right now. They can't hit this PA. They don't have a Silver Edge, they don't have MKBs. Legion Commander is queuing up some Ghost Scepters. I think he wants Ghost Scepter. That is a really big problem for them. actually. Virtus.pro cannot kill the PA and BKB anymore. And even outside of the PKB, you saw the Alchemist try so hard, but struggling to bring him down. They might have to dedicate a slot to MKB. Or, once again, get a Silver Edge on somebody. They haven't itemized against this PA core.
I mean, no one
whatsoever, actually.
He's queuing up a BKB, but I don't know how much that's actually going to help him in these sorts of situations.
Now he definitely needs to get it. If Brood also gets... Oh, you said BKB, not
BKB,
MKB.
yeah.
That's
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much that helps him.
Oh, if that dagger crits, he almost dies. It's like close to a one-shot.
It's nice.
All right, that is a tower.
Here's the smoke.
Dire's middle tower
Liquid doing a very good job of controlling the state of this game and absolutely turning it on its head. And we have to take some shrines now. I mean, VP, they want to fight this. They're coming forward.
They do. Liquid are reading it and getting the hell out of there. Into a more favorable position on their side of the hill. Solo scouting it out. Oh, they're actually scared. That's a duel.
Gets the jump. They get locked down onto mind control. Can they keep him alive? Yeah, they just turn Matuma Man manning up onto Pasha. Pasha's gone. Miracle just jumps into the back lines, takes down Solo. No one goes for mind control, but the cold embrace is there for Kuro, keeping mind control alive. Matuma Man falls low, but look at the lifesteal from this ultimate. It allows him to get some damage out. He does still fall. No one's taken down though. VP, they've lost 3. Miracle's still alive, jumping forward. Lil goes for the TP out. Oh, the crit not quite enough. Lil will get away. Ramses on the retreat, a little too hard for them to chase down. They'll try for it though. They're looking for him. They do scan. It isn't going to catch him. Ramses will be able to keep himself away. Oh, actually might find the courier. Yeah, I'll take that.
Oh, okay.
All right, there we go.
Oh, he's on a sentry. BKB. Oh, he's
yeah, GH is going to die for this. Kuro has to be careful as well. The bash.
Abyssal. No crit yet. Oh, he got a bash again.
Yeah, that's job done.
Please.
I mean, this is what the 3rd defense we've seen here from Liquid, and it's so many lives of VP getting thrown away. And now at only a 4K, 3K gold lead, in fact, for VP. That's not great. This is an Alchemist lineup. You do not want to be this little ahead. And we'll see it again here. No one just gets absolutely controlled. And as you say, the PA is such a huge issue now.
Yeah, they missed, they clearly, wait. Okay.
19K healing. That's
12K on PA as well. 12K PA.
That's crazy. That's a lot of life still.
Ooh. So Alchemist, it changed his build-up for another Axe, it looks like. I don't know who he wants to... If they feel like giving an Axe to the Ench or the Legion now is going to be a big difference maker, I think they need MKB or Silver Edge. I've said it. I'll say it again. Like, they're just not killing the heroes anymore.
But they're going for the MKB on Ramses.
The problem might still be that even when they get that, there's the Cold Embrace is a big problem now, actually.
It is. Kuro's pulled some really nice ones off of
the Cold Embrace buys so much time because at this point, VP's lineup, like 90% of their damage is physical. So this is when Wyvern can really shine. And the moment somebody gets dueled, he just Cold Embraces, and it's offset completely by that. So that might be the reason they want to get an Axe if it is for the Legion, so that the Legion can duel in isolation. Well, we'll see. What do they want to do? Oh man, Solo has fallen off in this game. He's level 12, minute 37. That's really rough. Oh, he's under a ward. Yeah, okay. See a nerd.
Oh, he's got crits of 1400 now in this PA. That's a lot of damage.
I'm wondering if there's a different approach for VP now where they don't take a fight head on, but they try to split push, get out the waves, and then see if they can backdoor, or not fully backdoor, but get the Weaver into the Radiant base while the Radiant are pushing. So Weaver just goes for racks, and they defend with Alchemist, and the backup of the Legion. He should be okay for quite a while. With Chemical Rage running and with Press the Attack, they don't need the Weaver ulti right away.
Okay.
That looks like the approach is they're going to do it with the Alkylos instead. They're going to go and hit the range tracks mid, trying to make some slow progress here.
Yeah, I like this from Miracle as well. He's got the boots of travel. I mean, you need to be prepared for these sort of split push plays now, because you know that VP are going to change their game up.
He's 20-2, by the way, on PA. That's a good KD. Roll. Cancel the TP. Thought twice about it. He's fine.
Right. Actually, he's cool. He's cool. He's walking it off.
A golden thread.
Brood AC is almost done. He actually has the gold. Or actually, no, he doesn't. He's got a bit to go.
I mean, it was 61 spiders killed by the Alchemist. Now, if you do the maths, that is a lot of Grievel's Greed gold.
That's 61 spiders.
Yeah. And there's that Axe. And you say, this is... Aye!
Aye.
Gone to the Legion, the Axe.
It did.
It did.
So, okay. So let's just make sure, because I think this has had like 2 versions of it, the Legion Axe. I want to make sure we're in agreement with how it works.
Yeah.
The duel is longer,
Yeah.
and the person you duel only takes damage from you, and you only take damage from them, right? But both of you can still be disabled.
Yes.
Makes
And
Legion spell immune, but
It
not
also
the other guy.
it also gives Legion the BKB.
So Legion gets a pseudo BKB,
Yes.
basically. Okay,
And
and
nothing
what was the duration again there?
8 seconds. 8 seconds.
8-second lockdown.
8-second lockdown. But that is if you survive from whoever you're dueling. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but who do you look to duel then?
May I recommend not dueling PA? Thank you very much.
Will he duel PA?
I think you should duel the Wyvern.
Like,
If you can.
Kuro's doing a lot of really irritating
Dueling
stuff in these fights,
Wyvern, dueling Veno, or
Yeah.
dueling the Earth Spirit should definitely be the way to go.
Solo, down bottom. Will be caught out alone.
He did. Again.
There's a man down for 45. Miracle already in position to take this tier 1.
Tier 1, yeah.
Still
This has
there.
been such a weird game,
It
you know?
has. I mean, it's just constantly been Liquid just forced into this position in the mid lane, which they've been absolutely fine with because they've got so much out of the last few advances that VP have tried to make.
That's tier 2 is fine. They have no interest. Oh, double damage could give a play to VP here. If they get that double damage on the Weaver, might be able to find a key pick or 2. I think that's the key right now for Virtus.pro, is for Weaver to get in on the backline and find Kuro as fast as
A
possible.
lot of this is on Ramsey.
He's
now,
close to
Phil.
be 25. He's close to the MKB.
Yeah, they're trying to give him the tome as well.
DD,
So he
double
gets the
rune.
25.
Oh, he got regen. Nice. Nice pickup.
Yeah, there's the tome. So is that going to give him 25? It's going to put him close, isn't it, that tome at this stage? It's coming out for Ramses. And MKB God, as you say, it's
Oh, Matumba's showing. Matumba's showing.
It's got BKB. He's just getting out of there. GH as well. They don't want to fight. For now. They'll settle with the escape.
Radiant's
We'll be
bottom
fine.
shrine is under attack.
And now we're down to a 1k lead.
Yeah, so Ramsey's actually with that tome he's pretty much there to 25. Very, very close to having that final level. Yeah, look at that swing around. That's exactly, as soon as those pushes down mid came through, that's when it took the turn.
That's a stereotypical Alk has a free game and then loses 2 fights. Pretty much. And now it's tricky. I still feel like even with an even gold distribution, like with a 0 lead, the Alchemist team can win this game.
Sure, absolutely. They're
Because-
not out of this game.
Because Weaver can kill the supports so fast.
Yeah.
But that's, I think at this point, it's really down to Ramses to find the right entry into the fight. Killing the Earth Spirit or the Wyvern right away and then playing around that. Now that the BKBs of the Radiant are dropping lower as well, that starts becoming significant. Gives Bane a better chance of getting like a Nightmare off. It gives them a chance of using Concoction for something. But it's still a 7-second one on the PA. It's pretty crazy to think about that he's only used that 3 times since he picked it up ages ago.
And to
It's
great
just been
effect each time that he's popped it.
Exactly. It's just been a couple of really key fights for Liquid. They haven't really like wasted it on skirmishes or got caught out or anything. Ramses, Abyssal, if they get a crit here. Oh, okay. Press the attack.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Press him out of there.
And of course, at this stage of the game, a lot of it, as it always is with a PA, there's a great amount that's down to the RNG. You know, even if it just means getting that crit on that support, meaning that you take them down in a couple of hits less, so it takes less time for Miracle to prioritize the backline, as it makes all the difference in these fights.
Definitely.
So we'll see how lucky Miracle's feeling today. I mean, so far it looks to be pretty good, as you pointed out earlier. 20 kills, only 2 deaths.
They're pinging the rush. This is probably the game-deciding moment. If either team gets a really good fight here, they're massive favorites to ending the game.
And of course, he's got the DD on
Oh, he
PA.
got double damage?
Yeah, he's got DD.
Oh, they're actually just not even going to be in time then. Swarm comes in, it's too late.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
That is an Aegis instead of Diffusal. And who got the cheese? Went on the Brood, I think.
It did indeed.
In the backpack. And he's going to replace his Mask of Madness with that. So losing a bit of damage output for the guaranteed self-heal.
I think you're fine with that, aren't you?
Yeah, it's the right choice. They can technically put it on the Veno as well, but I don't think they get enough value out of that. Like, Mind Control understands that his role in this game is to go in, pop ulti, cast Gale, and hope he dies.
Yeah, and he's pretty beefy. You know,
It's
with
actually
the
good if
Solar
they go
Crest
on
and the
him,
Shiva's
probably.
Guard, he's going to get his spells out.
Yeah, he's going to die now. Oh, maybe not. Oh, never mind. Pasha's completely alone, actually. I thought they had backup since he's in that aggressive position, but nobody helping out.
Oh, and this is great as well for Liquid. They've got the upgraded bots on Miracle, so they could start to use Matumba Man, you know, to set up things himself from Invis. Solo, bless him, he's had a lot of deaths, and it's the levels, as you pointed out earlier, that's still Really holding him back. Only level 13 here, 43 minutes in.
It's just very unforgiving being Bane in this situation. The hero doesn't farm very well. It can't really wave clear. It's a very momentum-based hero that wants to dominate lanes in the start and then get carried by the team later on. And he did a really good job once again. I think his Bane in the early game of this game and the previous game was great.
Yeah,
he's doing a good job. It's just like, at this point, you're at the mercy of your team. If you can get up one good grip, that is your contribution to a team fight. Speaking of which, could happen!
He's going to have Miracle coming in to help him, though. GH there as well. There's the upgraded bots, bringing Miracle straight in. Cuts down Solo, gets the Abyssal drop down onto the core, and that's going to be the Ramses Weaver down as well. That pickup of the upgraded bots changing everything there. As VP they didn't expect that at all. I mean,
I don't think so either.
They did not expect that.
And it looked like for a moment they could be able to burst the Brood if they get the grip there and Alchemist gets in and gets some swings off. Yeah. But this is like one of those tricky situations where it can backfire that you have an Axe on the Legion as well, you know? Like, he doesn't want to do all that.
I mean, and we're sitting...
Killed the courier.
Okay. Didn't have any
So we're seeing there's the grip, the concoction comes in, but he gets the BKB off. I think there was a silence from GH that stopped the grip. The moment that happens and Matumba gets BKB off, he doesn't die in that fight.
Look at this back in the game. They are starting to be moving on the mid lane. We've seen this all before, though, from VP. As there'll actually be a buyback from Ramses here. He's having to come back in to defend that bottom lane. No one, as we see in this mid lane, is all alone. He is tanky, but he's not tanky enough to deal with these sort of crits coming through from Miracle. No one. He's doing his best to buy time, but it's not going to be that much. In the end of the day, he does go down. Matumba Man eyeing up Solo. Sentry Ward gone.
He got pinged, I think. Pretty sure this
He did. He came down from the cliff momentarily.
Solo. Did he see that? Don't think so. Have they had a gem all game on the Dire? Oh, that is a very bold play by Matumba Man. He's bringing in Miracle.
They don't have Fiend's Grip. And yeah, Miracle is going to start diving people, that's for sure. Buyback comes out from no one. They'll turn towards Miracle. It will be a big kill. He's using the remainder of his BKB to run out of there, but Matumba Man will pay with his life. And that's Miracle making that call. He's just going, Matu. Going, Matu. I'm going to kill them all.
Like,
and then Matu's like, look what you've done.
I wonder who made that call.
How could you do this?
Who would have called for that play?
Yeah. I mean, Miracle says it's worth it. He got another kill to his tally.
They got a buyback from Alchemist. That's really big. That is actually really
big. That's true.
Oh, was it two buybacks? They didn't buy back the Weaver, right?
They did, yeah. Ramses bought back, but he didn't buy back for that. He bought back when no one was still dying mid. He had to defend bottom lane, but he has
not in that fight.
No, but he has just recently brought back as well.
This means that one core kill from Liquid is pretty much game. If they get one of these two down, there's no way we can defend 4 and 5 in this game. So they got to be really careful with how they move now.
Yep.
Make sure they find the right fight. Is that another Ags in the making?
Another Ag on him. So I guess this time, well, you're giving it to the enchant. Oh, you don't give it to Solo, do you? Those brain saps, baby.
Yeah,
the BKB.
It's good when you get to cast your spells once in a while, but he's not really having that great of a time with that. So
I want to say, come on. I mean, it's going the way.
It's garbage, Owen. Don't suggest it.
Sin, don't underestimate the Bane Aghanim's, mate.
I underestimate it very much.
1.5 second cooldown or something crazy, isn't it?
The chance that he gets to cast.
Oh, did he give it to it? No. Who's he giving it to? I know it's on the courier.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I think Alchemist uses it on himself before he gives it to Bane.
I gave it because he has indeed given it to him.
He should use it on himself before giving it to Bane. I think that's better. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll probably get to see it this pace.
He gets the stats. It's pretty significant, you know. It's like what is it? 350 health or 375? I think so.
Is it that much? Oh, I guess with the point boost.
Gives 10 all attributes and 175 health, so that's 375 health. Yeah, something.
There we go.
And it's just at this point, this game is beyond playable for Solo. You know, like what's he supposed to? You give him an axe, he still gets one shot with PA. I mean, what does it do?
Dude, you're gonna double his net worth. You know, be nice.
You're gonna triple it.
Triple it. Actually, you're gonna triple his net worth. Come on, mate.
I don't know if this is the approach they should be taking, though, with the itemization. Like, isn't this the point where you replace your armlet and you get another item? Like, do you not just get the MKB and commit, and you're like, okay, I'm going to be less tanky, but I have to hit now.
He's queued it up. He is going.
Yeah, it's just, like, why didn't this happen 10 minutes ago? They've had the same problem for, like, 15, 20 minutes now.
I think giving out the Ags, prioritizing that for Lil, I think that is nice, you know, getting it for the end. Just good damage that you need.
But Lil can't hit either. They can't hit the PA. It doesn't matter. He can't hit.
Yeah, well, it gives you the increased attack range, you got to remember as well. So now he's got a better chance.
I'm not going to argue that Ags on Edge is bad.
Yeah.
It's really good, but it doesn't solve the problem. Maybe if Lil gets an MKB himself, then it can get interesting. This game is still winnable for both teams, absolutely. But VP definitely have their backs against the wall.
Miracle.
And Miracle's hungry now. 2 runes.
Invis and a haste. He wants to do something here, but how confident is he going to feel? VP are already backing up. No, they go straight back up to the high ground. They don't want to deal with Miracle on the low ground. Interesting to note as well, 48 minutes in, he's only actually used, 3 charges of his Diffusal Blade. He's still got that to level up once he gets there. So that,
nobody really got a Ghost Scepter on the Dire. It hasn't been that.
I mean, Pasha queued some up, but he didn't go for it.
He changed his mind.
Yeah. Oh.
He's dead, I think. Quake Halberd. Yeah. And now time for the exit plan. Yep. That's one way to go.
Should have dueled him to give him the, sort of respect damage. Be a nice guy.
I'm sure his team would love that. So GH is sitting with this gem. The VP side currently have 1 ward out, and there's 3 on the Radiant. Or 4, actually.
Kuroki
5.
Have you seen what Kuroki's got? He's got Bloodthorn on the Wyvern.
Okay.
I mean, that's GG.
That's the first, I think.
I think I've seen it before, but he's got a Solar Crest, Bloodthorn, and a Winter's Curse. That kills a lot of the heroes on VP.
It's a very good way for him to just select a target, just just to amplify it. It's like he makes the call, this is your guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Bloodthorn this guy and you kill him. It's a secondary way for him to deal with grip in case that happens. It's a way for him to prevent the Weaver from using time-lapse when BKB is out. Gives them some nice utility, but that is a really peculiar build though. Very unusual.
I mean, I think it's great for a game that's gone sort of 50 minutes where, I mean, it's on paper, Bloodthorn is fantastic with the skill set you have as well. 50 minutes in, 10k gold lead for the team that does not have the Alchemist. We're seeing Miracle overtaking No One's Out in terms of farm. I mean, Miracle is this is his dream game. He's having quite a time. 21, 2, and 14 on the PA.
Yeah, he has been playing a phenomenal game on PA, and if he didn't, they wouldn't have won this.
No.
This game required a stellar performance from Miracle, and he's delivering under pressure.
Sometimes at the cost of his teammates' lives, but
yeah, it's not been the perfect game, but it's been really good, really, really good.
What's going on? Miracle, hello. Can we get someone sent to lick? Is he all right? Miracle, I mean, he's back now. What the hell is he doing?
I don't know. Looking at his teammates, I guess.
I guess.
So Legion just respawned again. I mean, the progression of Legion's items has been so slowed down in this game. This is such a late AC, and you gotta wonder, when you're playing against a PA like this, should you not have got a Blade Mail this game and just tried for it, At this point, do you not
I've got it, for the Legion, I think not getting a Blade Mail is nearly inexcusable.
I mean,
I think you have to. Sure.
After he got Ags, I think there's no way back. Then you can't get Blade Mail anymore because nobody else can deal damage to the PA during the duel. And Pia will win. Pia will kill you. She's stronger than you. She has more health. She has lifesteal.
No,
so,
wait, she doesn't have more health. You have more health. If you Blade Mail, you're going to win the duel.
She has a lot of lifesteal.
That is
pretty
true.
sure.
That is true.
I'm pretty sure. She's still going to get low, though. There's
and she's got the bashes and stuff. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm actually not sure what happens, but I feel like, you just got to try it,
you're going to bring the PA low.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even if you die, you got to try it, right? Like, at this point, just YOLO Blade Mail and go for that PA. I feel like that's what you got to do now.
Oh, we got the Ags on Earth Spirit.
On this.
So.
Oh, they got the duel on Kuro. That's going to be a kill.
Is it?
It's a long duel.
I don't.
Still going. Yep. Come on, then.
Oh, and he's gone. But Pasha pays with his life.
It just instantly gets 2 shots.
That was, what, 2,400 damage crit?
Another double damage. It's nice to have 2 runes when you're ahead,
Wait, how many double damages has this guy done? There's got to be. He is getting them in pretty good succession.
To be fair, there's a high chance now that there's 2 runes every 2 minutes.
Sure.
Oh, there's the grip. did not get cancelled, actually. The concoction came out.
No one's trying to come forward here. Has to be careful of the damage output from Miracle. The bugs are out as well. BKB is out. Miracle jumps forward, looking to immediately take down Little and will get the kill. They'll turn back towards Miracle as the BKB wears off. Concoction perfectly timed for no one. Miracle getting brought down low, but he's fine, yeah. GH turns him into a statue, allows Miracle to jump out of the fight. Miracle will survive for now. Miracle may even want to go back in. We'll see what he does. Mind control. He's being left to get low. Miracle still eyeing up potential.
Don't do it, Miracle.
Looks for solo. Doesn't get the crit. No one puts the mantle. Looking to dodge the spells of GH, but the border smash still connects. But Man will clean up solo. Turns towards no one. And now GH actually rolling forward. They're really trying to go in onto this Alchemist. He does force the buyback from 9 Passion. He does indeed. But Man ready to rip into him. There's the mini time lapse from Ramsey to buy no one some time. The PA jumps forward, but the disarm comes through for the Heaven's Halberd. Miracle is going to take a concoction to the face as well. The stone comes through. VP, they get Miracle. Miracle's down. Did cost them the buyback on Pasha, but they shut down that big hero of the PA. They do manage to, they themselves this time put a stop to the push at least down the bottom. Meanwhile, up top, the creeps end up finishing VP's melee racks. So still overall, not a great trade, but they actually managed to kill that PA.
And when you're this late into the game, they should be able to force buybacks the other way. They have 70 seconds. They just need to get this mid lane out.
Yeah.
No one is currently pushing out the bottom lane. I think he just leaves a couple of Mantas here, and that should do the trick. Mind control is 25 though, so these Plague Wards are being super annoying. Actually just spamming these out down here to delay the wave.
What a hero.
But VP have to get something done here. There's an Aegis as well up for grabs. They can just go and take that as well if they want. That will either force buybacks from Liquid or just get them a free Aegis cheese. There's plenty of choices to make, and it's not an easy position to be in, because they can kind of choose whatever they want, and that's why we want to make sure you really make the right choice now. They're feeling the pressure. And they will take the Roche. MKB Alchemist.
That's what you were waiting for, wasn't
Finally.
it? Yeah.
Finally, no one gets the MKB. Now, what's up next?
I mean, I think this is big as well.
Lincoln's Weaver.
Yeah, that's massive. We've seen so many times in
so many
out by the
Abyssals.
Abyssals. Yeah.
Yep. And
That's
he will
really
be given
nice.
the Aegis for sure. We'll see who goes for the cheese.
And I'll tell you what's pretty crucial as well, of course, with the build-up from PA. He did sell his Diffusal, so he himself doesn't have a way to break the Lincolns before the Abyssal comes through.
Well, he has spells.
Oh, he has spells, that's true.
But it's tricky, right? Because you don't want to
right.
If you Phantom Strike the Lincolns, you can't get in. If you Dagger, that has travel time. And those are his only two options.
That's true, and he might not even get the chance to Dagger because the BKB's there.
It's funny, because you look at PA and it has like a really low cooldown way of breaking Lincolns, so you're like, PA must be really good against Lincolns, right? But it's actually really annoying. You'd be surprised how annoying it is to play against. It's like, the travel time of the dagger onto this Weaver, if he gets Shikuchi off, it takes like 2 full seconds for the dagger to reach, and then your play potential is gone.
I mean, he's been being level 25 on the Weaver as well. That dagger, it may never land. You know, he can outrun the dagger if he keeps moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Don't spoil the patch notes, Owen.
43-32, 56 minutes in as well, coming up to being one of the longer games we've had so far at the ESL Hamburg Major. And
it's been the longest, I think, right? Already?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, 56.
It's a great game, though.
Oh, it really is. I mean, still a game that absolutely can go either way. The question is, which way will it fall? And the bigger question is, when will Solo get his Aghanim's?
He lost net worth in the last 15 minutes.
He needs that Axis.
He's actually losing.
He needs it before he goes into the negative, into the red.
It's so hard. You're just watching this. Like, look, it's a 7K gold lead for Liquid, right? But their supports each have like a 14,000 net worth higher than Solo. So you look at how the gold is distributed. It's literally...
How's he doing? Maybe his levels are doing great. He was level 13 about 10 minutes. How's he doing?
No,
oh,
14.
level 4. Oh, no. No. Yeah, let's not look at that. He's not... I mean, he's doing his job. As you said, this is not Solo playing bad. This is Solo playing great.
What if Alchemist could craft tomes of knowledge for his team for a gold cost?
That sounds really unbalanced.
That depends what it costs.
I mean, we're just building experience to give to... Yeah, no sin.
Ramses is running in. He has the... If they're not prepared for this Lincolns, that could catch them really much off guard.
I mean, they must have looked... They've seen it. They've seen it now, 100%. You know, these guys, they're TI winners. They check that kind of stuff. They know what's up. Miracle on
Is that a new Satanic?
Yes, that is his most recent pickup.
Yep.
After the Butterfly and the upgraded bots.
Dagger? Didn't even... You're right. Didn't even reach?
I didn't. It's not. It's the Shikuchi plus 200 movement speed. It's quite the talent.
So my thought here is, how do VP use this Aegis? Like, do they just let it run out and try to farm and feel like they can actually win late game? You have to keep in mind, this Legion can scale as well. Oh, Ramses.
Has to be careful here. The stun's going to come through. Can they take him down in time? The bash, the crits, they can. Down once.
Oh, they used nothing as well.
No one's trying to help him out here. BKB comes out from Matuma Man, looks towards Solo. Solo can't get any spell off. Ramses gets cut down as well. He's down for nearly 2 minutes. He does have buyback. No one could be in trouble as well. Pops the BKB, but the physical damage from Matuma Man seems to be too much. Miracle turns towards Lil. Lil trying to run it off. Mind Control comes in as well with the ultimate. Poison Nova is enough damage to bring down no one. No one's gone. Lil just makes it out with the TP. The crit from Miracle, nearly enough to bring him down. Pash is just on the run, but Liquid, they're hot on the case. GH with the boulder smash. Mind Control and Matuma ready to chase him down. Pasha is almost certainly going to go down as well as Kuro lands the Bloodthorn, takes him out. Triple kill for Matuma Man, and that is Pasha down for 100 seconds. He is a man that does not have the ability to afford buyback. Still on cooldown, in fact, as well for 2 minutes. No one can buy back. Ramses has already, he's already paid to get back into the game.
When you're this late into the game, it's so much about moment of opportunity, and Liquid just sees a small opening there, they go right away. They see the Weaver, they just jump him. They didn't even commit that much. I think they only used the Abyssal Blade for the first kill. So Miracle still had his BKB on the second life. They had Winter's Curse ready.
Oh.
Dire's middle barracks are under
Ramses
attack.
Trying to put some pressure on down bottom. He's going to need to head home.
His base is in shambles.
Yeah, mid lane racks aren't looking too great at the moment for Virtus.pro. The route up onto Miracle. Lincoln's is there to block the concoction. Matuma Man goes training onto no one. He's got to be careful. He just pulled back. Oh, he gets aggressively forced in. Liquid, they surround him. No one's gone. Down for 2 minutes. Ramses trying to fight up as well, but GG well played his call. With no one out of the game for 2 minutes, it's game over for Virtus.pro. We will be going to a game 3 as Liquid take game 2. What a game as well. What a series as well. I imagine a lot of people at home very glad that this one's going to a game 3 because we are getting quite some showings from both Virtus.pro and Team Liquid in this match. And I mean, oh boy, there's just no way of telling how this series is going to end up.
And that's got to be a bit demoralizing for VP. They must feel like they had that one in the bag when they got the bottom racks and were in such a great position. Yeah. But still, Liquid coming back in that game. This is one of the issues that VP just has had historically. Like, when it comes to these clutch moments, that really big win, still eluding them.
Absolutely, and the first pick Brood, it's terrifying. It can work out. Liquid made it happen. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll cut to a short break, but then we'll be back with more Dota 2 here at the ESL Hamburg Major as Liquid versus VP Game 3 is coming up.